Rettthebest here.
Hi, and the Nutt.
Sorry for the long wait for these videos. We've had a chaotic couple of weeks. We are going to be doing a question and answer video sometime. So if you have a question, ask it. I'll find it. No, do a video with it. We are here to watch Black Butler Book of Murder.
Yay!
These episodes are long. They're an hour long each. And there's only 2 episodes. But because they are so long, we are going to be splitting each one in 2. So we are only going to be watching the first half of the first episode today. I can't remember if there are, cards on it saying, halfway point or not. If there is, I'm going to stop there. If not, I'm going to stop wherever the first natural thing is at around a half hour. Okay?
Alright.
What do you suspect is going to happen?
I have no idea.
Are you excited?
Yes. Who wouldn't be?
I actually like Book of Murder more than Book of Circus.
Really?
Yeah. It's very Sherlockian to me. And I like Sherlock, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we go.
I can't say as I'm over fond of this weather.
That's just the way it is round here, though, ain't it? Always gloomy. I'll tell you, it's enough to make a man feel like...
Hello there, top of the morning. Don't mind us, we just dropped by for a little chat with the Earl.
Who the hell might you be?
Me? Why? If you don't like my answer, what are you going to do about it?
There goes the stew. Okay, so you remember that we have warriors?
Oh my. 2 guns, is it? How spiffing!
In all honesty, he's not that good of a shot.
No!
No, not her gun!
But the advantage is mine in a close quarters fight.
Yeah, because she's blind in close quarters. At far distance, she's a really good marksman, but up close like that, she can't hit anything.
Oh, wow.
Custard cream puffs. The filling was made from the eggs of our very own Phantom Hive chickens and is of the highest quality. We would be honored if you'd try one.
Do you remember who those 2 guys are?
I
Yes.
suppose it's passable, if you go in for that sort of thing.
Oi, Sebastian, who are these blokes? Why the hell are they here?
My name's Charles Gray. It's a pleasure and all that.
And my name is Charles Phipps. A pleasure.
We're often known as the Double Charleses. Our work for Her Majesty is part butler, part private secretary, based on what's called for.
And they are standing awfully close together.
A dinner party at the Phantom Hive Manor.
Yes, with a particular guest of honor. His name is Herr Georg von Siemens, a notable German gentleman and a distant relation of Her Majesty's. His interests include England's industry and popular literature. Her Majesty is of the opinion that you are uniquely suited to invite guests who will adequately entertain him.
But won't he find it rather disconcerting to be surrounded by complete strangers on his visit? I know I would be. Perhaps a personal reception from Her Majesty would suit better.
Refusing? Is that such a good idea? Her trust in you isn't so high at the moment. She harbors certain doubts about your report on the serial kidnappings. According to you, the perpetrator died and you subsequently disposed of the children you arrived too late to save. Somehow that account of the events doesn't read as entirely accurate. Her Majesty has some questions as to your reliability. If I were you, I would consider this a chance to repair the damage done to your relationship.
Of course. The honor would be mine.
I shall be attending. To make sure all goes smoothly, I assume that shan't be a problem.
No.
Very good, then we'll be on our way. We'll see ourselves out. You have a fortnight. I'm certain that should be enough.
You heard them, Sebastian. Let's get to work. I want you to find everything there is to know about this Siemens fellow, down to the very last detail.
Yes, my lord, straight away.
There was a lot of noise coming from the kitchen, and something tells me it was 'cause of you two.
He has good instincts. And yet...
You leave yourself open!
Embroidered his hat.
Disheveled clothes reflect a distracted mind. Remember that.
Where'd you get the needle?
A first-rate butler is prepared for any eventuality.
Thank you! That was right nice of you! Looks lovely!
Indeed it does.
Didn't his hat
There's
get
another
shot by a
level to
bullet or
this.
something? No,
Must
wait, it was
be.
the whip
Her
of
Majesty is
one of the
clearly dropping
girls.
a hint she
Or
wishes
one of
to
the
test me.
Beast. No, it wasn't
I
Beast.
think we
It
must
was
assume she will be judging both my loyalty as her god dog
The
and my
short
capability
people.
for the role.
the
Oh.
trapeze artist.
We shall have to be very careful how we handle this situation. One wrong move could lead to my utter ruin.
Those two.
Mm-hmm.
That guy has awesome hair. Arthur's clinic.
Another letter of rejection. What's this? The Earl Phantom Hive. It was early in the spring of 1889. The last chill of winter still hung in the air. At the time, I had a lowly ophthalmology practice in London, and a writing career one might generously call struggling. I say career, but the truth of it is I'd only sold one book so far, and made barely a farthing from that. I had begun wondering if I ought to give up my ophthalmology clinic and take myself off to the country somewhere in search of greener pastures. That's when I received an invitation in the post. Yes, an invitation. That was how it all began. Unusual
The
though it
horses are
was,
horrible.
I had no way of knowing the true import of that letter. But the events that followed at the Phantom Hive estate would change my humdrum life forever.
Peter and Wendy, that's their names.
Yeah.
Woo! I think the budget for this season was a lot lower than the previous one.
Mm-hmm.
Book of Murder, Part 1. There's Tanaka.
Mm-hmm.
Speak.
This is fun.
I have no business in company like this. Pardon, I'm so terribly sorry.
The fault is ours. You really must look where you're going. Now do apologize, darling.
I'm sorry.
What the fuck? She
Not at all.
speaks.
Please
Right?
allow me to make our introductions. I am the lowly branch manager of a trading company. My name is Lau. And this lady
Head
is
of
my
the English
sister,
branch.
Ran Mao. What is it you do, sir?
Sister-in-law.
I'm an ophthalmologist, and I do a little writing from time to time.
Oh, do excuse me. We shall have to call you doctor then.
Oh, no, please don't. It's just ophthalmology. I've no idea what I'm doing at such a fancy party. None at all.
One can never tell with our dear Earl. He can be so finicky.
Oh, is he really that difficult to please? You have me worried now.
Fear not. If nothing else, you can rest assured that something interesting will happen at this party. I promise.
How else would you describe the Earl? What sort of person would you say he is?
How would I describe the Earl? He is extremely proud, and his face only seems to display two emotions, anger and disdain. There must be a story behind the eye patch he wears, but I'm afraid I cannot tell it.
Now look at his chin.
I would appreciate it if you'd stop teasing my guests.
And there's the Earl.
He's so young.
Surprising, isn't it, that a small child would bear such a large title?
We can do without the small, thank you. Hello and welcome. I would like to thank you all for coming to my little party. I am the Earl of this fine estate, CL Phantom Hive. I know we shall have an excellent time. I look forward to greeting each of you once dinner begins. Whether you are an acquaintance of long standing or somebody I'm meeting for the first time. I don't think I see our guest of honor.
He has not yet arrived. It seems the inclement weather has delayed him.
That's unfortunate. What do we do? I can't very well keep everybody waiting in the hall.
Pardon me, Master, but the guest of honor is here.
A pleasure to meet you, my lord. Georg von Siemens at your service. Thank you for your kind invitation.
Member of the bank.
Hello. All set for a capital party, eh?
You've come a long way. I'm so happy you could make it. I am CL, Earl Phantom Hive. You must be hungry. Well, we've prepared a feast for you. It's buffet style for conversation. If you will please accompany me this way.
Pardon me. I will announce those who remain. As I do, please proceed to the dining hall. First, we have a Mr. Patrick Phelps.
That's me.
Trade Division Board member of the Blue Star Line.
Mr.
That's
Carl
important.
Woodley.
The Woodley Company Diamond
Pleasure
Cutters.
to meet you all.
Mr. Grimsby Keene. And Miss Irene Diaz.
Goodness, the famous opera singer.
Opera singer and stage director.
Mr. Lau. And Miss Ranmau.
Well, we'll see you inside.
Why am I here? Why in the world am I here?
Ranmau doesn't seem like a sister-in-law to me.
She doesn't. She seems more like a freaking prostitute.
Yeah, I want to know more about
Would
their
you care for a
backstory.
drink? Very much, thanks. My, so handsome, and such a commanding presence, like a character Oscar Wilde would write. I suppose the best families would have the best servants.
Pardon me. May I sit next to you?
Oh, sure, be my... Oh, my lord, please excuse me.
I hope the party is to your liking so far.
Yes, of course.
Please, Dr. Arthur, there's no need to stand.
Actually, my lord, it's only Arthur. I'm just an ophthalmologist. I'm not a surgeon or anything.
But it pleases me to address you that way, so why shouldn't I? Would you rather I not, Doctor?
Well, no, I don't mind. Whatever you would like. My lord, do forgive me if I'm being rude, but may I ask why you invited me today? I confess I find myself at a loss.
Simple, Doctor. I was reading your novel the other day and found it quite enjoyable. The one that appeared in Beaton's Christmas annual.
Study in Scarlet.
A minor magazine
Arthur
like
Conan
Beaton's,
Doyle.
read by a high-ranking noble like yourself.
My customers aren't noble. It behooves me to read a wide array of publications. Indeed, I even read Punch. But we were speaking of your work. Your protagonist was so full of wit, I found him quite appealing.
You did?
A Study in Scarlet is first Sherlock Holmes book.
Unfortunately, you
Really?
may have
Yeah.
been the only one who liked the book. It was such a dud, I don't intend to write another.
How could people fail to see its novelty? That doesn't say much for our country's sophistication, does it?
To be honest, I prefer to sell historical novels, but publishers seem to hate the idea since they don't think they would sell, I guess.
Don't despair. You can always wait until you're famous and publish them then. Many authors trade on their reputations like that. People will buy any rubbish with the right name attached.
Indeed. Well said, my lord. A lamentable state of affairs. We have that sort in our industry as well. So much dead weight, if you ask me. All they do is recite lines. True artistry is about so much more, wouldn't you agree?
Yes, of course. Just take your productions, with their detailed sets and sumptuous costuming.
Do you know how rare it is to find someone who understands? I
Look at
say
his
it would be
earring.
an honor to stage a production with
What
a
is that, a
discerning
seahorse?
promoter such as yourself. Well, my lord, what say you?
Sounds capital. Someday, I'm sure.
I told you to desist. I won't stand for this anymore. Keep your hands off me.
But my dear, just look at how you're dressed. How is a man supposed to help himself, huh?
Goodness! Someone please stop him. He's out of control.
You should be ashamed of yourself, you cur.
How dare you speak to me like that, you strumpet!
Please, this is a party. For the sake of the other guests, I ask you both to step away.
You disgusting old cotter! I'll teach you to touch what doesn't belong to you!
Here we have a rare wine from the village of Bukhari in southeast Moldova. We do hope you'll all enjoy a glass with us this evening.
How stupendous! What is this vine tree?
And when did he arrange it?
Meine Gute, this sweet scent. As if we are in a field of blooming.
It smells wonderful. I'll take a glass.
I will as well.
Save one for me.
I think that's too much wine for how many people are there.
That was
Yeah.
quite a dunking. Are you all right?
Another champagne tower? Really?
It worked beautifully the first time, my lord.
Yes, well, at any rate. Il semblait comme un garçon stable.
Seems like a steady fellow, but a little alcohol makes him like this. And from the looks of things, it's habitual.
He's speaking French.
And yet he can't control himself. He's a considerable fool, or has no sense of shame.
Wow.
A sort of sickness no doctor can save him from, eh?
Oh,
11 o'clock.
Dear. Our honored guest has fallen asleep.
Certainly looks that way.
Help him, Sebastian. He'll be more comfortable in his room. And I shall be turning in shortly as well.
You're leaving us for the night already, my lord?
Yes, I'm afraid so. It is bedtime for children like me. Please enjoy the party for as long as you'd like.
A game of billiards, anyone?
So,
That sounds nice. It's lovely.
You're loath to be seen as a child until it's convenient.
Shut it, you.
1 o'clock.
Oh, I'm ruined. Who will bury me now?
Why is she ruined?
I have no
It's
idea.
Herr von Siemens' room.
Probably woke up with a splitting headache and wants some water.
I don't want to go. The man was pawing all over me earlier.
I'll come with you.
Oh, you're worried about me, Sebastian? That's awfully kind of you.
No, actually, it's our guest I'm concerned about. He imbibed a bit more wine than is generally advisable for a person. Herr von Siemens, you rang for assistance?
Are you all right in there, sir? We heard a crash. Herr von Siemens!
What are you doing to that door? What's all the fuss about?
Stand back, I'll handle this.
Mr. Phelps.
If I may. This man's dead.
But how can that be?
How awful.
Did someone
I
just
heard
faint?
screaming. What's all the commotion about? Herr von Siemens.
A locked room mystery.
Yes.
A chest wound.
I would say the most likely cause of death is exsanguination.
We'd best not move anything until the yard arrives, yes?
Normally, yeah, but is it bloody hot in here to anyone
I
else?
did warm the room in advance of his arrival, but perhaps he was feeling chill.
It may be indelicate to say so, but at this temperature he'll decompose fast. Even if we put the fire out, it'll still be warm by the hearth.
Did he say decompose?
I agree. We ought to move him to a cool, dark place until an expert arrives to give him a thorough examination.
As you say, the cellar is likely the best place for him then. We shall move him there for the time being. Finney, fashion a stretcher.
I doubt we can expect the yard to arrive anytime soon. The storm is still raging. We're quite cut off from the rest of the world for now. It also seems likely that the murderer is still inside the manor.
With us?
Heavens.
Think for a moment, everyone. It's only logical that one of us is the perpetrator.
Wait, one of us, you say? That's positively absurd.
Total rubbish. What would be the motive, though? Most of us have never even met before.
And does it seem strange to anybody else that the door was still locked when we arrived here? You make a good point, my lady. So it seems to me somebody entered the room through the window, bought time to escape by locking the door, and then quickly exited again the same way they entered.
Rain means mud. An intruder would most likely leave footprints if they came in from outside, besides which the window appears locked.
It seems the only explanation left to us is that the culprit locked the door from the hallway.
That would be impossible. None of the guests were ever actually supplied with keys to the rooms, you see. The doors were fitted with deadbolts. These allow each guest to lock his or her room from inside, but not out. No keys were distributed to anyone. As you can see, the fittings are broken, indicating the door was locked when I kicked it down. In other words,
We have a locked room murder on our hands.
That's preposterous. This isn't a mystery novel.
Or not a good one. I have to imagine that the solution would be far too obvious for today's discerning reader. Would you not agree, Dr. Arthur?
Indeed. That little trick would explain it all.
What now?
The needle and thread trick. It's simple enough, really. First, you fasten a threaded needle near the latch of a door. Next, you pass the thread underneath the door before exiting the room. Then all you need to do is close the door and carefully pull the thread to release the needle. It's so often used in mystery stories that it's become cliché. The killer probably isn't trying to copy a novel. It's just the only explanation that seems realistic in this case.
That answers the locked room question, but it doesn't narrow the suspect pool.
That's true. The trick is so simple, anybody could be responsible.
Well, we certainly didn't do anything. You'll have to look elsewhere.
Not at me, I hope. After all, you are obviously the most likely suspect among us. You were fighting with him earlier, for goodness sake.
Oh, please, what does that have to do with anything? I wouldn't kill for such a trifle.
Gents, no need for shouting. Let's sit down and calmly sort out our alibi, shall we? The murder happened after he had retired to his room. We can narrow it down further to the time between when he rang for a servant and when they responded to his call. So where was everyone during that time?
Well, I know Irene and I were in the billiards room.
That's right.
Yes, I was there as well.
And so was I, along with Mr. Phelps. None of us left the room.
And the two of you, what were you doing at the time?
Us, my lord, we were drinking in the lounge together with Mr. Woodley. Weren't we, Ranmau?
He's right. We were there until we heard all the shouting.
As for us servants, we were all together, seeing to the cleaning and such like.
That's not quite everyone.
I hope you'll pardon the question, my lord, but where were you at the time?
I was asleep in my bed.
And can you prove that?
No.
Goodness me. I suppose you've become our prime suspect, my lord, what with your lack of an alibi and all.
Oh, wow.
Do you think he did it?
No.
How did I end up here?
Honestly, what a ridiculous mess this has turned into. I must apologize, dear doctor. It seems their baseless suspicions of me have led to trouble for you, and for that I am most terribly sorry.
Oh, it's all right.
Would you be so good as to chain yourself to the Earl to prevent his moving about? I don't know about you, but I, for one, would feel ever so much safer.
Young lord, Mr. Phelps said he would prefer not to sleep in a room adjacent to a murder scene.
Not surprising.
Your chamber was the only other one in a fit state to be slept in, however. So that is where I have installed him. I hope that is all right.
It's fine. It will be chilly out tonight. Take care not to let any of the fires go out.
So, why doesn't he and the doctor sleep in his room?
Hospitality.
I quite
The
understand, my
doctor's
young
room?
lord.
Yeah, they're sleeping in the doctor's room. And they have another guy
Shall
sleeping
we
in
retire? It has
Ciel's
been quite
room.
a night, hasn't it?
So why doesn't Ciel and the doctor sleep in Ciel's room?
I have
Well,
no
I
idea.
bid you both good night.
Such a storm. Are you asleep, Doctor?
No, sir. I'm sorry. Forgive the question, but do you wear a patch both night and day?
Yes.
I'm aware that this may be forward of me, but you should remove the patch and give your eye air when you sleep. Here, allow me.
Sorry, Doctor. I sustained this injury when I lost my family. I prefer it to remain covered.
Oh, I had no idea. I'm so sorry.
It's all right. It's this storm. It brings back memories. I haven't shared a bed with someone in a while. I think I can remember the last time, actually. It was another stormy night like this one. The thunder and lightning frightened me, so I crawled into my parents' bed. I was very young then. What are you doing?
Oh, dear Lord, I am so sorry. There are 10 kids in my family, see, and one of my brothers is about your age, so
Your brother, eh?
I'm not patronizing you or anything. I wouldn't dare.
Why don't we go to sleep? Good night, Doctor.
You too, my lord.
Wow.
To work, then. Allow none of the fires to go out. Such was the order.
Oh no.
As I suspected. I see. Bard. Bard!
Wakes up with the gun.
It's only you. You gave me a turn. Could have killed you.
I would like to review tomorrow's menus with you.
Right, sounds good. See you tomorrow then.
No, I meant that I want to go over them now.
I'm listening.
On this paper, you will find the menus for the next 3 days. Included is a list of components I've prepared. You will also find instructions as to heating.
Always like to be thorough, don't you? Anyway, I don't see why you couldn't have just told me all this tomorrow.
I'm confused. It's late. What's Sebastian doing here?
As for you, this storm will keep you out of the garden for a while. Starting tomorrow, you're in charge of replenishing the coke for the fires. You're to see to it in the morning, first thing. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Get some sleep. You'll have quite the busy day tomorrow, Chef. Good night.
Yeah.
Wait, Chef!
I think that's the only time he calls him chef.
One moment. No!
I apologize for waking you.
Sebastian! What brings you here? Oh, this time of night it can only mean one thing.
Please calm yourself. There's something I need you to do for me first thing tomorrow morning.
Oh, right. Certainly. That makes sense, too.
Please set this bird loose as soon as the sun rises. There's a letter attached to its leg. Remember, you must do this first thing. Understood?
Yes?
A word of advice? Don't be so keen to open your door at night without knowing who's waiting on the other side. You are a young woman, after all.
Absolutely, sir.
Sheesh.
Can't sleep. A child's long lashes. He looks almost cute when he's sleeping. A bit more like a CL and a lot less like an Earl.
Doesn't he, though? That all changes as soon as those eyes open.
When did you get back here?
And why wasn't it sooner?
No, I didn't realize. My lord, you're awake.
Give me my pillow this instant.
A pillow.
Not just any pillow. You might call it a security blanket of sorts.
No, actually, I would just call it a comfortable pillow.
Is there anything else? A soothing lullaby?
Hush you. I have never asked you to sing to me, not once. That's enough of your fooling around for one night. You're a nuisance. Go back to your room. I'm sleeping now.
Our apologies, my lord. I shall resume my duties immediately.
Already?
Doctor, you have been terribly inconvenienced. I am very sorry for that.
No worries. The poor Earl. He's truly only 13, eh? It must terrify him to be mixed up in something like this.
Oh, so then you don't believe him to be the murderer?
Not at all. I simply cannot imagine him doing anything so cold-blooded.
I must say I'm glad to hear it. Well, Doctor, I shall leave him in your hands. I'm sure you will look after him.
What are you thinking?
I'm a little confused. Why would Sebastian grip a pillow that tight?
Very well, then.
I think this is a good place to stop. Yeah, it's 31 minutes.
Oh, wow.
So, that seems like a very good place to stop. Especially since I know it's going to happen. What do you think?
That was a very interesting thing.
It's a very, murder mystery type thing.
Yes.
It's kind of like Clue. You know.
Lovely.
Not the movie Clue. I've never actually seen the movie Clue, but like the game Clue.
Yeah, I have never seen the movie either.
Yeah? We're gonna have to watch it someday.
Yeah.
But who do you think the killer is?
Not Sebastian, because he was attacked. That one guy, Christian Grey.
Oh.
Christopher.
Charles Grey?
Yes.
You think he's the killer? But he was with the other people.
So that doesn't mean
in the billiard room.
That doesn't mean he can't slip away for like 5 minutes to use the restroom.
Yeah. So you think it was Charles Grey?
Yes.
Why?
Because I saw like a bat or something when Sebastian got attacked.
Okay.
Or it could be somebody entirely different.
Okay. Well, I know who it is, so I'm not going to say. Anyway, are you excited for the next half of it?
Yes.
Okay. But we have to go, because she has things to do.
Yes.
So this was Rettthebest.
And the Nutt. Like, comment, subscribe.
Don't look at my boobies.
Share. And let's see, where is it?
Eyes are there. touch the eye. You'll see more videos. See the rest of our Black Butler videos. See Hellsing Ultimate Abridged. See... I think we have some Game of Thrones in there.
Yes, we do.
What else do we have?
I'm not sure.
One Piece.
Yes.
The Vampire series.
Yes.
Final Fantasy VII, Mocking Abridged.
Yes.
Yeah, touch the eye, and you'll see them.
Yes. Mwah. Thank you for being loyal fans.
Yeah, like all 2 of you who watch this. Bye.